Welcome back to My Unpopular Opinion. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy my commentary, please subscribe to the channel as I am still building the channel. It's still new, but I appreciate everybody that has recently subscribed and been commenting and liking the videos. Thank you so much. So I want to talk about Evelyn Lozada returning to Basketball Wives and the Basketball Wives franchise, period. I want to give my opinion or unpopular opinion about the show. So we know that Evelyn Lozada is a veteran and pretty much a pro when it pertains to Basketball Wives and the franchise and the network that it's on. She's been on the show for so many years at this point. She has taken her breaks with, years off and then gets to come back when she wants to. But we know that that is due to her relationship, with Shaunie ONeal, who is the executive producer of the show and pretty much the creator of the show. So that explains right there, flat out, why the favoritism, because there's no reason why Evelyn would even be able to come back right now if her relationship with Shawnee wasn't the way it was. Now, these two have called each other best friends, so it's clear what is happening there. I think a lot of people know that Shawnee was in cahoots with the situation. So let me just flat out say, I don't think that Evelyn should be coming back. I'm just going to be honest. I actually think that it was wrong in the situation when it pertained to the last season that herself and OG were on. I think that the way OG was treated was wrong. I think that the favoritism was clear, especially at that reunion when they made OG film from the back room with the camera while Evelyn got to sit on stage. I thought that that was just disrespectful to ostracize OG. And I think a lot of the points that OG made, all of the points OG made, were extremely valid. And it's almost like because someone challenged Evelyn, because someone who was witty, actually more witty than Evelyn, because OG is very logical and intelligent and well-spoken. And because she could actually have a verbal spar with Evelyn and also be just as aggressive physically as Evelyn is, because we know Evelyn gets away with being aggressive and physically or getting physical with a lot of the people on the cast in the past. And OG was somebody who actually could stand up and match that energy. And it's ironic that when someone did stand up to Evelyn, now they're removed. And guys, I'm kind of like lumping together the season where OG was left out of the reunion and had to film from the back and CC didn't make it. And then the following season after that, I don't like the way OG was treated on either of those seasons. And I don't like how she was treated, period. But let's also acknowledge the fact that OG did not kiss Shaunie's butt either. And we all know that. Shawnee was Team Evelyn in cahoots. And we all know that Shawnee will choose Evelyn over anybody. As we've seen in the past, she chose Evelyn even over her quote-unquote friend Tammy, who now is not even her friend anymore. So, of course, Shawnee was in cahoots with pretty much, in my opinion, bullying OG, or trying to at least, because OG wasn't having it. Just like the scene where she said, OG, Jesus loves you. And OG's like, yeah, I know he does. Like, I don't know why you need to say that. But I'm not going to go into all those details because that season and the following really, really upset me. And I'm really not a fan of Basketball Wives right now because I don't like the direction it's gone within the last, however many years. It hasn't been a good show in my personal opinion. We all know that Big Head Evelyn took OG to court strategically to get her off the show so that they could not film together anymore. And allegedly, this was probably a plot put in place by herself and Shawnee. Just take her to court, keep her in court because she probably don't have that much money. Take her to court, keep her in court, play games with her in court. Then you could probably take like 2 seasons off and then we'll bring you back on. Clearly, that was the plan because that's what happened. But that's just my personal opinion. But it's very odd how Evelyn was so threatened by OG just for being able to stand her ground and be a formidable player when it became a back and forth an argument on the show, and that OG wasn't scared of her and wasn't backing down from her. And so I do feel like Evelyn is vindictive, and this was just a part of her plot. And I don't understand her issue. Why? Because OG called you out for saying the N-word when you are not black. That is a fact. And then she tried to clean it up later and say, oh, I'm Afrolatina. Evelyn, has never referred to herself as being Afrolatina. I know that's very convenient these days, but she has never considered herself Afrolatina. And even when you look on her Instagram page today, all you see is very, very fair-skinned Latin cultural things that she posts. And I'm not saying that that's an issue, but I think she needs to be true to who she is. There's nothing wrong with being a Latina, but don't try to claim being Afro-Latina when it's convenient for you. I think she was also threatened by the fact that OG was bringing up the colorism conversation and educating them on what it was and how dark-skinned people are affected by it, especially in entertainment. I don't think they were ready for that show because they don't have the intellectual ability to even have that conversation. And I hated the way that the show and the producers tried to have those moments. It was very clear that the colorism, in my opinion, was very deep-rooted, especially even in the production team. As we know, Tammy came out later and said that a producer called OG ugly. And we all know that people were calling OG ugly because she is dark-skinned and has Afrocentric features as she is Nigerian. And according to European beauty standards that someone like an Evelyn Lozada would fit in, of course they would think someone like OG is ugly. So finding out that even producers are saying those kind of things and then Shawnee doesn't care about what was happening and what was being said, it was very clear. And let's be clear too. Evelyn has said something racial even about Cece. Remember, she called Cece Ling Ling. And I was so disappointed in The Table and I was so disappointed in Malaysia for thinking that was cute. Like, oh, that was just the nail shop girl. And I'm going to do another video on Malaysia at another time because she started getting on my nerves. But the fact that they allowed Evelyn to call her Ling Ling, thought it was cute. And Cece said it like, oh, so being the R word that I can't say on YouTube. So Evelyn is not innocent. She's definitely done a lot of things on the show that were way worse than anything OG has even come close to doing. And it just doesn't make sense as to why she would be able to return, but OG would not. That doesn't add up. So Evelyn was spotted filming with Brooke and Jackie at some store, some shop. And, you know, it's just like, come on, y'all. If anything, she should have stayed off the show. But they feel like they want to do anything to save the ratings. Now, I will say, people might tune in a little bit more because, you know, Evelyn is Basketball Wives. She's been on the show for a very long time, like I said. But I just feel like they continue to go in the wrong direction. It's like Evelyn was not necessarily needed back, especially if OG was not going to be able to come back. We didn't just forget about that. That's just weird to me. And I don't care. I just feel like it was unacceptable for her to be returning, but I've explained why. Now, I feel like Basketball Wives is coming to the end of its rope. I feel like it's time to cancel the show. It was so boring this last season. The season before that was so problematic. Season before that, very problematic. Tammy has left the show. Shawnee has left the show trying to act like she's the preacher's wife. And, you know, Evelyn is coming back, I guess, like she says she need the bag, or she said something about the money being good. But it's just like, it's time for those ladies to go on about their lives. Like I said, especially if OG can't return, then Evelyn shouldn't either. Tammy's gone, then that whole genre should just leave. Now, with the new cast, it's not giving. It needs to be canceled. I think Basketball Wives has been toxic for quite some time. And when you really think about the quality of the show, it's not even that good of a show because it's almost like the retention is never really there anyway. Every season, it's a new girl, it's new girls, it's new girls. And sometimes you don't know whether the person from the last season is going to be on the next season. They might not. You might not see them. Like, for instance, British and Brooke and, you know, pretty much the entire cast this season wasn't there for years and years and years, then randomly pops up again. That's just really weird how they do that, you know. And then some of the other girls that we like, they never give a chance, like Megan. You know what I'm saying? I actually liked Megan on Basketball Wives, but then they didn't want to film with her anymore. So I just think it's weird how they do the show, and I think it's just time to let it go, in my personal opinion. So, guys, let me know down in the comments what you think about Evelyn Big Head Lozada returning to the Basketball Wives of whatever the F it is, okay? I'm so sick of these girls on Basketball Wives. But let me know in the comments what you think, and subscribe to the channel, guys. And be looking out for the next video. Bye-bye.